Annibale Carracci. B. Bologna, 1560. D. Rome, 1609. Annibale Carracci was the greatest member of a family of artists from Bologna who gave a new impetus to Italian painting in the years around 1600. By the later 16th century, much Italian art had become rather inbred and artificial, but the Carracci created vigorous and dignified works that heralded the Baroque style. To some extent they revived the grandeur of the High Renaissance, but they added a new warmth and sense of movement. Although they admired the great masters of the past, they also based their work on observation of the world around them. Annibale's varied output included altarpieces, portraits, genre scenes, landscapes, and caricature drawings, a type he invented. His greatest work, the fresco decoration of the Galleria of Rome's Palazzo Farnese, was considered a worthy successor to Michelangelo's Sistine ceiling. Lifeline. 1560, born the son of a tailor. Early 1580s, tours northern Italy. Opens Art Academy in Bologna with Ludovico and Agostino Carracci. 1583, completes his first major religious painting, the Crucifixion with Saints. 1595, moves to Rome, his base for the rest of his life, to decorate the Palazzo Farnese. 1597 to 1601, paints his masterpiece, ceiling frescoes for the Galleria of the Palazzo Farnese. C. 1604, paints Flight into Egypt. 1606 to 2009, unproductive final years, blighted by illness and melancholia. Christ appearing to St. Peter on the Appian Way. The subject of this picture is an early Christian legend in which St. Peter encounters a vision of Christ outside Rome. 1601 to 2002, oil on panel, 77 by 56 centimeters, National Gallery, London, UK. Closer look. Dramatic gestures. Although the picture is fairly small, it has tremendous strength and dignity, partly because of the force and economy of the gestures. Christ points to Rome, which Peter had been fleeing in fear of his life. Strengthened by the vision, Peter turns back to face martyrdom. The Galleria Farnese ceiling, detail. The ceiling depicts various mythological scenes linked by the theme of love. The main figure here is the giant Polyphemus, who hopelessly loved the nymph Galatea. 1597 to 1601, fresco, Palazzo Farnese, Rome, Italy. Flight into Egypt. His scene of people, buildings, and nature in serene harmony is regarded as the first great example of the ideal landscape. C. 1604, oil on canvas, 122 by 230 centimeters, Galleria Doria Pamphili, Rome, Italy. Agostino Carracci. B. Bologna, 1557, D. Parma, 1602. The older brother of Annibale, Agostino is famed chiefly as an engraver. His many prints after the work of leading painters circulated across Europe, and engravings of his anatomical drawings were still used as teaching aids in the late 1700s. Agostino was less accomplished and distinctive as a painter than Annibale and Ludovico. He was Annibale's chief assistant at the Palazzo Farnese from 1597 to 1599, but the brothers then quarreled and Agostino moved to Parma. There he began a grand fresco scheme of his own at Ranuccio Farnese's palace, left unfinished at his death. Lifeline. 1557, born the son of a tailor. 1576, first dated engravings. Early 1580s, opens Art Academy in Bologna with brother Annibale and cousin Ludovico. 1597 to 99, helps Annibale paint the frescoes at the Galleria Farnese, Rome. 1599-1602, decorates the Palazzo Farnese, Parma. 1602, dies and is buried in Parma. Portrait of Giovanni Gabrieli. These impressively engraved facial details and exuberant hair belong to a comic actor, also known as Tu Civilio. C. 1599, engraving, 16 x 12 centimeters. Art Gallery of New South Wales, Sydney, Australia. The Annunciation. Early in their careers, the Carracci often worked together, and it is sometimes difficult to distinguish their hands. This picture is now thought to be by Agostino, but in the past it has been attributed to Annibale and Ludovico. 1585, oil on canvas, 48 by 35 centimeters, Louvre, Paris, France. In context. The Carracci Academy. The Carracci Family Academy, also known as the Accademia degli Incaminati, Academy of the Progressives, stress drawing from life and the close study of nature. Many important Baroque artists trained there. Head of a Youth by Annibale Carracci. All three Carracci drew constantly. A contemporary wrote that even when eating, they had bread in one hand and a pencil or charcoal in the other. Ludovico Carracci. B. Bologna, 1555, D. Bologna, 1619. Ludovico, the cousin of Agostino and Annibale, was a dedicated teacher. He took most of the responsibility for running the academy, art school, that the family founded in Bologna in the early 1580s. Many distinguished artists trained there, including Domenichino and Reni, and they carried on the Carracci tradition of clear, strong draftsmanship. Although Bologna was important for commerce and education, it had previously been relatively undistinguished in art, but the Carracci and their academy turned the city into a major center of painting. Ludovico's own paintings are almost all on religious subjects, often treated in a highly emotional way. Lifeline. 1555, born a butcher's son in Bologna, where he lives most of his life, in spite of lucrative offers to work elsewhere. Early 1580s helps to found the Carracci Academy. Mid to late 1590s runs the academy alone from this point. See 1595 paints the Transfiguration, 1619 dies, still sole head of the family academy. The Transfiguration, this explosive altarpiece was for the Church of S. Pietro Martiri in Bologna. It depicts Christ, flanked by Moses and Elijah, revealing his divine nature to three of his disciples. See 1595, oil on canvas, 438 by 268 centimeters, Pinacoteca Nazionale, Bologna, Italy. Closer look. Dramatic contrast. The contrast of light playing across this upturned head is typical of Ludovico's work in the 1590s. It helps to create an emotionally charged mood of spiritual ecstasy, true to the ideals of the Counter-Reformation. Michelangelo Merisi de Caravaggio. B. Caravaggio or Milan, 1571, D. Portugal, 1610. Although his life was short and troubled, Caravaggio an overwhelming impact on Italian, and indeed European art. He broke with the stale Mannerist tradition, introducing a new solidity and weightiness to painting. Early in his career he painted hedonistic subjects, but in his maturity he concentrated on somber religious works. He imagined the familiar stories afresh, depicting characters who look like real people from the streets of Rome rather than idealized visions. Some contemporaries thought it was respectful to bring religion down to earth like this, but many painters imitate realistic details and dramatic contrasts of light and shade, even though few could rival his grandeur or depth of feeling. Caravaggio became notorious for his violent temperament, as well as famous for his genius. In 1606 he fled Rome after killing a man in a curl. He spent the remaining 4 years of his life as a fugitive from justice. But continued to receive major commissions, and to influence local art scene, wherever he went, working in Naples, Malta, and Sicily. Lifeline. 1571, born the son of an architect mason, 1584 apprenticed in Milan to S. Petisano, an distinguished local painter. C. 1592 settles in Rome. 1599 starts a series of major religious commissions. 1606-10 leads a wandering life in Naples, Malta, and Sicily after killing a man in Rome. 1608 paints his masterpiece Beheading of St. John the Baptist. 1610 dies W.H. returning to Rome to seek a pardon. Beheading of St. John the Baptist. Many people consider this huge work to be Caravaggio's masterpiece. It was painted for the Knights of the Order of St. John, the Knights Hospitaller, who at this time effectively ruled the island of Malta. John the Baptist was their patron saint. 1608, oil and canvas, 361 by 520 centimeters, Co-Cathedral of St. John, Valletta, Malta. OFF center arrangement. The bold composition with the main group on the left and an expansive wall on the right was highly unusual, but it helps create a compelling sense of reality. The two men gawping through the bars are perhaps prisoners. Caravaggio himself was briefly imprisoned several times for various offenses and must often have witnessed bloodshed during his violent life. Malta. Sic Bacchus. This is almost certainly a self-portrait of the young Caravaggio, painted soon after he arrived in Rome. C. 1593-94, oil and canvas, 66x52 cm, Galleria Borghese, Rome, Italy. Crucifixion of St. Peter. Caravaggio painted this powerful altarpiece for a church in Rome, and it can still be seen there. When St. Peter was about to be martyred, he asked to be crucified upside down, as he did not feel worthy to die in the same way as Christ. 1601 and oil on canvas, 230 by 175 centimeters, S. Maria del Popolo, Rome, Italy. He thinks that all paintings are mere nothings, child's play or trifles, whatever their subject matter or authorship, unless they have been painted from life, and that nothing can be good and nothing better than to follow nature. Karel van Mander, 1548-1606, Dutch artist and writer. Supper at Emmaus. In this painting, the resurrected Christ reveals himself to his disciples. The realism of the faces and clothing invites instant involvement. 1601, oil and egg tempera on canvas, 141 by 196 centimeters, National Gallery, London, UK. Closer Ioc. Foreground device. Caravaggio often used foreground objects to draw viewers in. He was a superb painter of still life details such as this. Artemisia. Gentileschi. B. Rome, 1593, D. Naples, 1650-53. Like her painter father Orazio Gentileschi, 1563-1639, Artemisia was an outstanding follower of Caravaggio. Her work did much to spread his style, and she became one of the first female painters to be widely acclaimed. Unusually for a woman of her day, Artemisia lived a life of great independence, and she tackled ambitious historical and religious themes in preference to the still lives typically chosen by 17th-century female artists. Her favorite subject, which she treated several times, was Judith beheading Holofernes. Her liking for this bloodthirsty theme has been interpreted as pictorial revenge for her own youthful sufferings. She was raped by the painter Agostino Tassi and was tortured at his trial to test the truth of her evidence. Lifeline. 1593, born in Rome, 1611, raped by fellow painter, 1612, raped Tr.Al. Artemisia marries, 1612-20, lives in Florence, becomes first woman to Jo. Our city's Accademia del Disegno, c. 1613-14, Judith beheading Holofernes, Uffizi version, c. 1630, moves to Naples, 1638-41 in England, working for King Charles, 1641 onwards, probably works mainly in Naples, 1650-53 des in Napies. Judith beheading Holofernes. This is Artemisia's most famous painting of the subject. The drama, violent realism, Caravaggesque lighting, and solid figures are all characteristics of her work. C. 1613-14, oil on canvas, 199x162 cm, Uffizi, Florence, Italy. Ion context. Art serving religion. During the 16th and early 17th centuries, the Catholic Church underwent period of reform and renewal, now called the Counter-Reformation. Artists such as Caravaggio were acutely aware that religious art must move the masses to devotion.